confronts our fears of living in dangerous times, and yet he does not promise to rescue us from the world's distress. Rather, as disciples, we are then called to serve in the suffering world, bearing witness to the God who will not let suffering be the last word. Jesus gives us signs that things to watch out for, not because they help us predict how long we have, but they tell us there is no more important day than the day we now live. The wars, the rumors, the earthquakes, the famines, persecutions remind us that there is a need for witness to God's love, and that we are the ones who can bring God's love to the people who are hurt, to the people whose lives have been torn apart when nations rise against nation, or tribe against tribe, or people against people. When family members rise up against family members. When hurricanes strike and terrorists strike out. When people are hungry and sick and their lives are slipping away. Jesus gives us signs, but they're not useful for predicting the end. They are useful for showing us where God needs us to be, where God is among the poor, among the lost, among the least, among the lonely, among the weak. Jesus tells his followers, in the midst of these things, do not be alarmed. Do not be terrified. Do not fill your time up with anxiety and fear. Our readings from Daniel and Hebrews point to the reason we need not to be afraid. Both point to a confidence in the ultimate triumph of God. Knowing who holds the future, we can be aware, not alarmed. We can be faithful, not forecasting. So what does the future hold? Besides war and earthquakes and famines, are these things